Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to How Did We Get Here? We talk about things that's gonna make your life better and make you think about why you do the things you do, and just decide I, I want to live a better life. And of course, today's discussion is going to be about purpose. What is your purpose for waking up every morning and getting up and trudging out in this world today? What is your purpose? And I could talk about it all day long, but I'm going to bring in, my girl, the lady, the woman who knows it all. I said she knows it all. Damn it, she's a guru. She's my guru, Miss Della.
Hey, good
What's up,
morning,
girl?
everyone. Hey.
So how you
I
doing in
love
this new
to hear.
year?
I'm good. I'm good. Happy New Year to you too. How was your holidays?
Oh, wonderful. Just laid back, chill, reflected on last year, what I want to do this year. And the first thing I was like, I gotta have my girl, I gotta have the guru to talk about purpose. Because so many people last year were telling me and asked me, "Who I don't know what my purpose is." I have hundreds of emails that people send me about their purpose. And I was like, you have to figure that out. And I'm like, because again, I don't know who you are, but you need to know who you are. So I said, you
Mhm.
know what? We're going to talk about that. So that's why I got you here today to talk about purpose, because everybody needs to understand what the purpose is. But let me say this before we start. Your mama can't tell you what your purpose is. Your daddy can't tell you what your purpose is. Your priest, your rabbi, uh, your next door neighbor, nobody can tell you your purpose. Only you can tell
Mhm.
you who your purpose is or should know what your purpose is. Because if you don't know what your purpose is, nobody else can tell you that. So I had to say that. I had to get off my chest because everybody was asking. My mama said I should have been a doctor. My mama said I should have been this. No, your mama and our mamas and dads want the best for us. They want us to be lawyers, doctors, business owners, billionaires, all that. But you have to look at your skill set and see, hey, how do you feel? Who are you in order to
Mhm.
decide where you want to go or what's your true purpose is. So with
Mhm.
that, I had to start that off right there because I got hundreds of emails saying, ask me what a purpose is. So that's why I got you here.
I
So
think this I think this is a wonderful topic to start the new year off with. What is your purpose? Even in this year, we can take it moment by moment and day by day to set up the new goals, to develop the new almost version of yourself so you can walk into rooms and become more confident and knowing who you are.
definitely, and that's the biggest thing. Everybody, so many people going through so many things just because just life is hard. Nobody said life is going to be easy. Nobody said it's going to be peaches and cream and white picket fences. It's not. Life is hard. It's even harder when you don't know your purpose. And a
Mhm.
lot of people kind of drift through life. At some point, you don't want to drift through life. We're only here for a small period of time. Can we enjoy that? Can we at least enjoy the time we have here rather than laying on our deathbed at some point and say, damn, I wish I should have, I could have, but I didn't. Nobody want to do that. And I read a book recently too, about people who work in hospice, and they said people tell them their regrets right when you're about to go, and the biggest regret was they didn't understand their purpose. She's
Mm.
like, we didn't know our purpose. I was a mother, I was a father, I took care of
Mm.
people, I made money, I went on trips, I did all that. But in the
Mm.
end, I felt like I lived an unfulfilled life or purposeless life. And I,
Mm.
again, do not want to be at that stage laying in the bed telling you when I have nothing, I can't do anything else. It's over for me. My journey is now over here. So
Mm.
that's a sad way to go. And I want none of y'all to go that way. None of y'all. I want y'all to know that.
It does happen the end of your end of life, or even as we get older, we start questioning if we lived a fulfilled life, if we walked along our purpose. And you start to kind of question, you start to reflect, even as we start new years, or age, we ask ourselves if we're headed in the right direction. And I think I would encourage everyone to get to know ourselves a little bit better. What is it that you as an individual truly like? Do you like scrambled eggs? Do you like, um, do you really enjoy brunch? Do you really enjoy, are these things, do these activities or rituals that we participate in bring us fulfillment and joy, because oftentimes society tells us, all right, we want the white picket fence and the 2.5 kids and the dog, or our culture will say, you know, you have to be this type of person. You have to go to school and get your degree and all of that. And taking the time to just sit with yourself to identify truly what brings you joy and fulfillment. A lot of people look outside of ourselves for purpose, and allow other people and or society or culture or religion to define what, like, even manhood looks like for us, even womanhood, adulthood, childhood. We allow other things to define. And I think that's where we lose track of who we are and who we want to be in this world, because your voice, your own internal voice, matters more than what society or the world tells you to be.
Oh my God, that is so true. That is so, so true. And yeah, and the other thing, Miss Della, is another question was that people get confused about is passion versus purpose. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you have a passion for something, but that may not be your actual purpose. And how do you distinguish between the two? Because people commingle it, but not they understand that they're two separate things. But it's easier to commingle because, oh, you know, that's my passion. It's got to be my purpose. But that's not necessarily the case. So how do people
Mm-hmm.
separate those two things?
Mm. Oh, that's a really good question. I think it does have to be broken down on that individual level. Um, so passion. This is a really good question. You kind of got me a little bit stumped. I would say our purpose is what we're trying to fulfill in this world, what we're trying to complete in this world. So our purpose could be, for example, I'm an individual counselor here in the state of Maryland. And so I feel like a part of my purpose is to create safe places for healing, for individuals to receive mental health counseling services. That is a part of my purpose. I also want to ensure that people who work with our organization feel respected and honored as employees or contractors with us, right? My passion is hiking.
Really? You enjoy
I
hiking?
enjoy I do enjoy hiking.
That's
I
beautiful.
enjoy going I enjoy going out in nature and hiking trails and mountains and even volcanoes. I've done that in the Caribbean. Uh,
Wow.
um, So I think it's different in what impact your purpose has on the world, not the world, but your family or even in your local community. It is a fulfillment of a role is your purpose, and that whereas your passion is the thing that brings you happiness and joy, and you feel just very enthusiastic about. And so I think that they can be braided and weaved together. Your passion can be your purpose, and your purpose can be your passion. But sometimes there may be a difference because you may be called to a particular role. Like if say you got a promotion or say you had to take over the family business. That's not necessarily your passion. um, but it may be what you need to do in order to keep the family business going. But your passion may be, again, maybe ice skating or music or something along those lines.
Okay. Yeah, hey, y'all, I learned something. I didn't realize she hiked. Damn, I just thought you sit around and read books and help people and heal people all day, but that's beautiful. That tells you you have such a wide view of life rather than particularly I do this, and that's another thing. You know, you have to be you have to explore. Explore you. You can't just say, "Oh, I'm this. I can only do this."
Mhm,
Hiking, that's beautiful.
mhm,
Damn, we gotta talk about that after this podcast. That's beautiful. I may have to try that one time. But you know, and the other thing I think that people, it's a question I want to ask you is your purpose could evolve over time and
mhm,
could change over time.
Mhm.
And I guess people like, is that something that's normal? And I'm going to say this, it is normal. It does, I can tell you from experience, it does evolve, because when you start off, you have this particular purpose. And as you get older and things change, life experience happen, it evolves, it opens up, it goes in other avenues. I can tell you that from experience. I'm going to let Ms. Della tell you from a clinical point of view why that happens and how it happens.
I do believe that people evolve, and your purpose can change, and your passion, your interest overall, can change through time. I think as we grow and experience new things, we are not the same person that we were at 5, 15, 25, 35, and so on. And so we should always be open and flexible, and exploring the different activities, even different jobs that we may enjoy. We should, at least I'm of the mindset, we should try it all. Anything that may have been an interest, you should try it all. See if it fits. See if it, see if it's something that you really do want to do. Because we all have bills to pay at the end of the day. It's the world that we live in. And in a perfect world, your purpose will, help you financially, and then also be your passion. That doesn't always work out that way, but I say all that to say, as you go through schooling and you interact with different people, or you're taking different courses, you may have an interest in something new that you never thought about before. And so that helps you kind of hone in on who you are and who you want to be. But having a limited scope of the world, and kind of isolating yourself, or not being willing to explore, your world limits your impact, I feel like, and limits your kind of fulfillment in life.
That is so true, and I'm glad you said that, because again, that kind of goes to the next question that I want to ask you is, um, what are the barriers that stop people from finding their purpose? Because
Mm.
there's something everybody always say, yeah, I like this, but, and it's like, what is that in their head that stops them from
Mhm.
really finding that purpose?
Yeah, I think fear is definitely on the list. I think that anxiety can stop someone because you're exploring the unknown. You may be shy about exploring yourself. You may feel a sense of insecurity as, again, you're exploring these different paths in your life. And then also limited resources. Sometimes we may want to climb Mount Everest, but that means a flight. That means we got to backpack. We got to buy all of these things in order to be able to climb Mount Everest. So limited resources can also stop someone from finding their purpose. And then also exposure. You don't know what you don't know. And until you're really exposed to more, or exposed to a different worldview, um, then you don't know that there's something else out there that exists.
Yeah, that is so true. That, and you're right. Fear has killed more dreams than a bullet.
Mhm.
That
Mhm.
that has stopped more people from being who they're supposed to be than anything else in this world.
Mhm.
That's a very true statement. And what do you suggest to people who are feel lost or overwhelmed
Mhm.
by trying to find the meaning of their life? Because again,
Mhm.
it gets to a point where, you know, we all have alone time. Y'all know this. You sit by yourself somewhere, whether it's in your car, at home, somewhere at a kitchen table, and you ask yourself, damn, how do I, I got all this going on in my life. How do I get to that? How do I get to
Mhm.
my purpose? Because right now I'm lost, I'm overwhelmed, I'm stressed, and I got anxiety at the yin yang. How do I how do I get there?
I would say make a therapy appointment.
Yes, yes.
I say that I would encourage that person that is lost in this world today to really kind of sit and look at all areas of their lives. I usually look at someone through the 8 dimensions of wellness, and I'll apply that to even feelings of fulfillment. And so Look at your work life. Is that really fulfilling to you? And mind you, a bad day, nobody really wants to go to work. I mean, we're just doing it to pay our bills. So, is it something about the work environment that is impacting your wellness, your purpose, your sense of belonging in this world? Or maybe it's a lack of intellectual stimulation. Is it that we're sitting here and we're on social media platforms all day? Or, when's the last time we maybe picked up a book or gone to a library or gone to a museum to explore um, other things? Also, look at our physical health, right? Our physical health impacts our mental health, impacts our motivation, impacts our fatigue, cognitive capacities as well. So look at our physical health. Are we really taking care of ourselves to be able to better manage life? And so looking at that, and then again, there's other dimensions of wellness. But what about your life are you lacking? What area of your life are you lacking fulfillment in? And being honest about that. Is it the relationship that you're currently in? That person is not really your person. Or is it the family dynamic? You're tired of having the same conversations every holiday season, Thanksgiving, sitting around the table and we're all talking about the same thing over and over and over again. It's okay to not show up. It's okay to be like, you know what? I want something different. I want a different conversation. But really sitting with yourself to explore which area of your life you're the most unfulfilled in, what is unfulfilling about that, and then committing to making a change. And those changes can be small pockets over time. We can, when it comes to physical health, right, we can start walking 10,000 footsteps a day, I believe is what the
Mhm.
recommendation is. When it comes to our intimate partnerships, committing to changing our communication style, or if it comes to our financial health, that's the thing that I'm most unfulfilled in, I'm stressed over. Well, let's look at our spending habits first, right? Are we really making good financial decisions? Or are we making impulsive financial decisions because um, we're lacking control in some way? So that's what my recommendation is. Kind of sit with a journal, maybe even, and really script out everything that is disappointing or frustrating or unfulfilling in your world, and kind of look at those themes. Where in those themes are we willing to commit to making a change?
Oh my God, that is so true because that what you just said answered some other questions that I was about to ask you. Because again, if you don't have a clear sense of purpose, it leads to, like you said, mental health issues, physical health
Mhm.
issues. Because people don't understand. I'm going to say this: if you're not clear here in that 6 inches of space in your head, on top of your shoulders, the rest of you will suffer. As you say, you kill the head of a snake, you take the head off, the body drops. This is a case in point. It motivates you to do what you're supposed to do. So if you're not clear here, the rest of you are going to suffer. And, and it's a vicious cycle because you just keep saying why can't I do this? And your body says I don't feel good. You eat wrong. You drink wrong. You don't work out. So it just exacerbates any other issues that you have in between these ears, and it just you don't live your life the way it should be lived. And no one's here
Mhm.
to just exist. No one is no one you weren't put on this earth to just be here. Live
Mhm.
your 60, 70, whatever number of years and go away. No, you're here for a purpose and a reason. You just need to find it. And
Mhm.
are you talk about that? It's so clear. It's so clear. And I'm going to end this by asking this one question. What piece of advice do you have for someone who's stuck? Who really don't know their purpose and they just stuck because so many
Mhm.
things have happened in their life that they don't know what to do. They can't move. Some people are just
Mhm.
frozen by fear, and we talked about earlier. Um, what advice you got for
Mhm. So someone who is completely stuck right now, and does not know what the next step is that what
them?
you're asking? Okay.
Yes. Just
Um,
stuck and unsure what to do, what next move to make because they literally we know you see it all the time. I see it, not in the clinical sense, but you talk to people and it's just like I know people who live back in the like when they went to high school. I know people who said my best years was in high school. I peaked in high school. And I'm like, oh my God, really? Yeah, because that's when they were most popular. That's when they were, whatever they thought they were going to be. And life, that tricked them out their life. Because again, they keep reflecting back to remember this, and I'm like, I don't have a clue about that. Because again, I moved on to life, living life fully, not remember in third grade or fourth grade. No, no, get out, wake up, get out that situation, and you want to shake them, but it's like they're so stuck because that's their happy spot, that's their happy place, and basically that's where they live. And I know quite a few people that live in that world, and it's sad. It's a sad world to live in.
It is. It certainly can be. I think for those individuals that are stuck, or we as their friends or family members recognize that they're stuck, I think you said something really interesting too. Like they're in their happy place. Like they are stuck in high school because that's when they felt the most fulfilled. And I would challenge that person and be like, hey, what was it about high school that was so fulfilling to you, and kind of how can we create that in your season of life now? Was it your physical fitness? Like, right, if you were the high school football star, well, let's go ahead and get back into the gym and get on some sports teams in our life today. There's plenty of adult sports teams. Or if it's that student that kind of maybe after high school did not quite find their footing. Well, but they still kind of romanticize the high school experience. Again, what was it then that we can apply now? Was it an activity? Was it a person? Was it a purpose? Was it a greater sense of self? But as a family, I would encourage them to go to therapy.
Yes, yes, that's exactly what you was gonna go there. I said I'm gonna go ahead and let you lead there, and they definitely need to go to therapy. And in fact, speaking of that, how could these good people out here, these millions and millions of people, how can they reach you, Miss Della? How can they reach you?
So I'm with August Rose Health Center and licensed in the state of Maryland to provide individual counseling services and family counseling services for children as young as 5 all the way into 65 years of life. And so you can just Google me or find me on Instagram at August Rose Health Center.
Beautiful. And people, you can also find her by going to overcometoBecome.com. She's on that list. She's right there. Like I said, I put all my hub, the people I need to help you guys. Because again, we teach, we inform, we motivate, and so she's right there too. So again, go down and talk to her. You need it. Just reach out to her. So hey, again, we want y'all guys to please enjoy this thing called life. Um, please find your purpose. Please understand that you are loved and people love you. And understand you have a gift to give to people. You're not just here just to drift by, be born, drift, die, and go away. You're here for a purpose. Please find that purpose today. Like Miss Della said, journal, do what you need to do, but please find it. And we want you to be well. We want you to be purposeful. And I want you guys to sit when you find your purpose, send an email. Send an email. I'll talk about you. I'll bring you on. We'll have the discussion about you find your purpose. But please do. And with that, we're going to end this episode of how we get here. And ladies and gentlemen, until next time, peace and blessings and happy new year to you all of you.